Hey, it's so good to see you today on Daily Hope. We're on this journey of joy in the book of Philippians. One helpful way to think of joy is to think of the opposite of joy. What would you call the opposite of joy? I don't know that I necessarily have the right answer, but I have some ideas. Discouragement, right? If I have a day where just a discouraged spirit defines me, that's the opposite of joy. Depression. Lots of things that are just kind of icky and dark, and if we're honest, that we deal with every day. So this book is so important, this book of the Bible, Philippians, because it teaches us a path out of discouragement, depression, self-centeredness, into the light of joy. And we're here in Philippians chapter 2, and there's really been a theme in this whole chapter of serving others. When you lay down your life to serve others, you can serve your way out of discouragement, serve your way out of depression. And as you put others first and you seek to do the work of God in their life, you end up having joy as a consequence or a fruit. So like the old cliche goes, if you chase joy, you might not get it. But if you chase serving others, you can just end up having joy. The cliche is that of if you chase a butterfly through a garden versus if you just sit down still and it lands on you. People say that of happiness. But the goal here in Philippians 2 isn't to sit down still. It's to live your life serving others, and joy results. We saw that in the life of Jesus when we saw in the first half of Philippians 2 that he laid down his life, he humbled himself. And then the second half of chapter 2, we've seen, that we're to live clean lives, we're to serve others. And now we get this example of Timothy, who was known for cheering people up because he cared more about others than about himself, and he was obsessed with, God, how are you at work in the lives of others? And now, verse 22, we get this overt word. It's been the theme, but serving others. Paul says this, you know how Timothy has proved himself. Like a son with a father, Paul was Timothy's spiritual father, he has served with me in preaching the good news. So why does Paul have joy as he's writing this letter from a prison cell? It's because he's living a life of service. Why is Timothy a joyful companion who's known for cheering people up? Because he's living a life of service. And a life of service doesn't mean just, I'm going to go find some nonprofit and I'm going to go out and rake some leaves. That's fine. But it's a life of saying, I'm going to lay down my life like Jesus, and I'm going to serve my spouse, my kids, the people I work with. Serving isn't just something I do one day out of the month or one day out of the week when I put on my volunteer hat. Serving as a way of life brings about joy as a way of life. See you tomorrow.